Yo, it's Dante PhD here. I just want to share some details that I learned about Deathblade, specifically using the remaining energy engraving. Basically, the playstyle is filling up your identity gauge, then using it immediately. Using the most commonly used skills by Korean Deathblade players, I checked each skill's gauge filling potential at 1800 specialization stat. The results are as follows. I've ordered them from highest to lowest gauge fill. Some of you new to the game are wondering why specialization is so important, and perhaps I should have answered earlier. The short answer is that Deathblade scales with specialization stat. The long answer is that it increases identity skill damage, increases identity gauge filling, reduces skill cooldowns, and increases awakening skill damage. So basically everything. To simulate my rotation for tier 1 content, I set my specialization stat to 650. Depending on your gauge filling needs, you can swap out different skills. Personally, I don't use Fatal Wave or Turning Slash. Consequently, my top gauge fillers are Soul Absorber, Void Strike, and Moonlight Sonic. I want to fit these 3 skills during my Maelstrom buff because all gauge filling during Maelstrom is increased by 20%. You can see that I basically need to hit almost all my skills to get over 2 orbs filled. Obviously in the ideal world, you'd fill up all the way to 3 orbs, so that you can maximize your cooldown reduction when activating your identity skill. The attack rotation you saw in the beginning of the video uses 1800 specialization stat, and you can see a noticeable difference in the cooldown time of skills when activating the identity skill. The basic attack rotation I use is Spin Cutter to apply a debuff, then Maelstrom, Soul Absorber, Void Strike, and Moonlight Sonic. I sometimes use Blitz Rush before Moonlight Sonic if I feel that I have enough time during my Maelstrom buff. I typically save Earth Cleaver for counters and save Dark Axle for repositioning. You'll learn to use different skills in different situations as you grow in experience. Note that you can also obtain runes from Guardian Raids and Field Bosses to buff your skills, like speeding up casting times and increase the amount of identity gauge you fill. It is important to get at least 2 orbs filled because of how remaining energy works. I demonstrate here when your identity is used only after 1 orb is filled. Notice that you only get the 2nd tier remaining energy buff. The top tier is 3rd tier, and you only need to fill 2 orbs to achieve it. If you don't have the remaining energy class engraving, then you should use your identity skill as a buff. Save this buff when your skills are off cooldown to dish out all the damage. Obviously you'll do less damage than if you had the engraving, but that's true of all DPS classes without their engraving. And that's it for this video. I currently have a playlist of completing Guardian Raids solo on Deathblade for tier 1 content up to Flamefox Yoho. I do it basically with only Supercharged 3 engraving and the lowest recommended item level, with a few exceptions. Check it out if you want to see how a Deathblade plays. You can also check me out live on Twitch at Dante PhD Official. Thanks for watching, hope to see you again, and bye bye.
So that's